Welcome back to another episode of my Ultimate Iron Man. Last time we ventured into the final floor of the Hallowed Sepulcher for the first time, and as you'll be able to see here in just a second, 86 loots of the Grand Hallowed Coffin. So I have done this not quite a bit, but more than a little. I'm not a noob, and I will say, as far as Hallowed Sepulchre goes, I think I've got it pretty down. I would say I am like, I don't know, experienced. I don't think that's like tooting my own horn too much. I feel like experienced, by no means perfect. I am just, familiar enough with it. I think I can get through all of them pretty bad. The amount of cursing and swearing I have been doing is much lessened than when I first started, so that's pretty good. But it does still get annoying sometimes. You definitely have to be able to deal with some annoyance to get through this. But the rewards are actually, honestly, I have some more to say. Maybe I'll wait until a little later when I have even more experience to have, back up my claims. As far as XP an hour goes, I have for the last couple hours been not looting any chests other than the final one. So just doing a full-on run till the end, and I am almost at the 80k an hour mark. I actually think I would be there. It has gone over that. It's gone up to like 81 or maybe even 82k an hour. But I had a couple runs ago, I had an abysmal run on floor 5 where I was messing up left and right. It was awful. It was like a 9-minute, 20-second floor to clear the entire sepulcher, where normally it's like 7.5 minutes, probably more close to my average time now. It was pretty bad, and that brings you down. But yeah, I think around 80k is going to be about where I max out as far as, full focus goes. So with knowing that, I do think I'm going to go back to looting at least the portal chest. That's all I have right now, because the only ones I can do, there's a portal, and then there's one grapple chest too, but the grapples take like 20 seconds at least. They're a lot longer than the portals. And also the crossbow weighs you down a little bit, and weight isn't super important, but there have been every now and then I do still run out of run energy sometimes on floor 5. Again, I have still not missed the final chest since like my first 10 of them or something. I still get there in enough time, but it's annoying sometimes, so I don't mind not having the crossbow. It's not the end of the world. As far as goals go, I mentioned last time I want to get the Dark Acorn first for the recolor for the squirrel, which I do have right now, and I don't know where he is. He's running around somewhere behind me. But I want to get that, which is 3,000 hollowed marks. So we're a little over halfway there. Oh, this is actually floor 3. Am I going to die here? Okay, that was... it locked me into doing the animation there, and then it pulled me out. One thing, even though you should definitely have the true tile indicator if you want to do this, it's a lie. It's not actually 100% where your character is. You will still get hit by swords, and especially by these little the bullets from this. You will get hit by them even though true tile says you're not on the tile you are, because that's just how the game sees it. It's never going to be able to be perfect, unfortunately. Just got to get used to it and react better. But rewards, yeah. I want 3,000 marks of grace for the acorn. And then I also would like to get a full set of Dark Graceful, which I believe is 1,800 hollow marks. So definitely doable, but that's gonna take even more time after that. So long story short, you can expect a lot of Sepulcher this video. I imagine we'll get at least 2 agility levels. I'm probably gonna get one here pretty soon, and then from there we'll just see how it goes. And of course, also I'm after a Ring of Endurance as well, which is a 1 in 200 drop from the Grand Hollowed chest. So we're not even halfway there yet. We got our first elite clue of the video for... Oh, the DSim Ornament Kit. That actually is... Obviously, that's what you'd hope for maybe on your first elite pull, back when your DSim is still your main hand weapon. But unlike our Fury Ornament Kit, I am almost certain that this is actually storable in the POH. We go over to Elite. Yeah, Dragon Sim Ornament Kit. So this is a storable Dragon Scimitar. Actually might have a decent amount of uses. If right now I needed to go and kill something, with melee, that's an easy thing to go and grab out of there to get. I'm gonna go ahead and head over to Apatol and grab one of those real quick. Oh, look at us. We are a credit card hero. Well, on our way to becoming a credit card hero. I actually kind of really like how that looks. It looks pretty cool. I gotta go and dig out the golden defender sometime so we can show that off. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there are any stashes that use a dragon scimitar. But either way, I'd still, again, prefer to store it in here, considering we can just put it in there and now have a storable dragon scimitar. I guess if we ever wipe, that'll be a dang good thing to have. I would just like to say, last night when I got that D-Sim ornament kit, I don't know why it said, like, oh, it'd be good if we wipe. Like, obviously, if we wipe, I will hopefully have some money still in LMS, and if not, I can just go and do, like, Gauntlet or something to easily get enough money to buy stuff. Like, things would have to go very, very wrong for the D-Sim to actually be useful for us, but it is still just pretty cool looking. Gonna have a nice big milestone coming up here. This is the 100th Grand Hallowed chest we have opened. We are officially halfway to the drop rate for Ring of Endurance. Oh my god, it's after work, which I usually play for 30 minutes an hour, even though I'm pretty tired. But it must have just been a long day or something, because I have been messing up so bad. I've only done like 3 or 4 runs. But thankfully, I can go to bed because after we get out of here, we are going to have 94? Yeah, 94 agility. I wanted to say 95, but I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, I was already I'm just having an off day for some reason today, which is bad because it's my day off of work. But I'm just going to go and run some normal agility, maybe get another graceful piece or two because I was already missing a lot of obstacles, still getting it done. But you can see I just forgot to open the chest on floor 5, even though I have like a minute and a half left. So definitely think it's time for a little break from the Sepulcher. This has absolutely nothing to do with anything I'll be doing this episode or really anytime soon. But I'm always playing 4D chess in my head about what I'm going to be doing in the future of this account. And I'm wondering if anybody knows, this is probably only a problem, this actually is only a problem for UIM, but I figure other people could know. For the Karis Partisan, you can get the gems from TOA that you can attach to it to change its effect. My question is, if I put, I know if you lose your Karis Partisan, you can just buy another one from the person in Al-Kharid. If I put a gem into it and then destroy it or drop it, obviously like you would eventually as a UIM, if I get it back from him, does it still have the gem in there, or is it just the normal partisan and I have to get a gem again? Because I'm thinking I might do TOA at some point. Maybe when I get back to PVM, I might be a little on the earlier side of things I do, mainly because I'd like to get a Fang, and I actually don't think it's that uncommon if I'm doing 150s or maybe even higher. Granted, I haven't done a lot of TOA, but I think the consensus is you can probably solo 150s fairly easily once you get the hang of it. I'd love any input when the time comes for that. But the main question is, does anyone know the Karis Partisan, if I have a gem in it and then lose it, will it still have the gem in it when I buy it back, or is the gem gone when you lose that, you'd have to get it again? Another kind of long one, but we've got, I think it's the 5th elite casket we've got in this grind. And hey, we got actually a new unique, Musketeer Pants, and potentially a Master. I actually kind of like those. Always got to get the chest first, and I'm starting to get a little worried that I was like, oh, I'll surely get a Ring of Endurance, it'll happen before 99, because we're at 160 now almost. But it's fine, because as I quick exit here, this is going to be 95 question mark, and we actually get to see it. Yeah, 95 agility. Different kind of milestone, and one we're going to be seeing more often. Nothing special as far as how many chests I've looted, but we finally have 3,000 marks, which is enough for the squirrel recolor Dark Acorn 3000. I will take one of those. That's for the collection log. And then if we look at giant squirrel with beautiful markings, if we talk to him, what's that with all that squirrel for? All right, I just wanted to see what the differences were. I think, can we just use it on when he's on the ground? Okay, so it eats the acorn, and I guess we can metamorphose it whenever we want. Now we can. That's very, very cool. So I like that a lot. Very evil, very cool looking. I want to see if any of the text is different. Okay, beautiful markings still. How come you're so agile? All right, I don't know if the dialogue is any different or not. Okay, it's not. It looks like it has multiple dialogue. That's a little disappointing. Maybe it is different. I don't know all of them, but still looks super cool. I also notice I need to swap my left click to walk here for the dark squirrel. Bang, there we are. Let me take a look at the rest of the Hallowed Sepulcher collection log, because I do plan on green logging, obviously, if I'm planning on getting a Ring of Endurance. So all we need next are the symbol and the hammer, and then just the dark die once, but we're gonna get enough for a full graceful set. How much is? Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to trade. How much are the hammer and the symbol? 100 each. We might go ahead and get those first, just to get the collection log done, even though I don't plan on using those in the minigame. Oh well, I just got a Ring of Endurance. I wasn't at all like prepared for this. I mean, I guess you never can be, but it's so weird. It's like I had the day off today, but it's getting close to my bedtime. I was being super lazy. I was mainly focused on a YouTube video. My time's gonna be super off, but yeah, there it is. A Ring of Endurance. It's going for just over 30 mil on the GE right now. And that was at 174 grand coffins. So not quite, yeah, we didn't quite hit the drop rate. So we got, I wouldn't say spooned, but a little lucky. But yeah, that's the Ring of Endurance. Well, I was gonna move on as soon as I got that, but I don't particularly want to right now, I guess. I still, like, at the very least want to, use up all these hollowed marks I have, and I actually kind of had my heart set on getting Dark Graceful, so I don't know. Like I said, it's about to be my bedtime, so I think I'll sleep on this one and decide what I want to do. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, you can see I've been doing some laps at the arty course here in my spare time. I'd already done that earlier in the video, and I've been doing it whenever I want to take a break or just get some marks of grace or something. We almost have an entire full set of graceful. With this, we'll be able to buy like whatever piece costs 55, the second most expensive piece, and then after that it'll just be, I think, only 40 or 45 more. So I'm pretty close to having a full set of graceful, which will be good for the when we eventually get the dark dyes. I also started. I got a tablet recently, so I've been able to. I don't have any like time outside of breaks at work to like play. I just like my job doesn't allow that really. But I decided like, hey, even if it's only just like during my 30-minute lunch break, like that's 30 minutes a day that I could get. It's like 2.5 hours a week of just extra grinding. So I've been doing some laps there. We're at like 600 or something. It's getting up there. A lot of laps. This is a pretty quick course, pretty fun one. But as far as what I'm going to do with the Ring of Endurance, I am going to just stick with agility for right now. I kind of really had like was feeling pulled and like, what do I want to do? Keep doing agility or start something new? And I did sleep on it, and afterwards I kind of figured like, do I want to keep doing agility or do something new? And I was like, I kind of did want to move on. I'm not burnt overall from agility, but I'm a little tired of it. Sepulcher has been good. I do have some thoughts. You'll definitely get like a Sepulcher rant, maybe after this. I don't want to keep stringing you guys along on that. I tease it at the start of the video. I have some thoughts on Sepulcher, but I would like to start something new. The only problem is, as I'm recording this clip now, it is June 5th, the morning of Monday, June 5th, and Diablo 4 comes out later this evening. And I've been really looking forward to that. I don't want to talk too much about other games. This is an old RuneScape channel. I know what you guys are here for, but I've been looking forward to it, kind of getting hyped for it. I've just, it seems good. There are people have been in early access. I didn't get that because I thought you could get it with the normal edition, but you have to get the premium deluxe edition or whatever garbage they have. It's whatever. I'll just wait a couple extra days. But I need to be realistic and say that starting something new in here in RuneScape and devoting myself to it is not the best thing to do when I'm planning on playing a decent bit of another game. So I will keep up with Sepulcher whenever I can, but I probably will be doing a lot more like AFK agility. If I'm really committed, I probably should try and set up somewhere like, honestly, maybe I should try and get like, I want to do mining pretty soon. Maybe I should try and get set up on like shooting stars, because I could like, if you get a starter yourself and it's a high enough level, I think you can AFK for like 40 or 50 minutes, and that would be a good thing to do. But being 100% realistic, I'm probably just not going to play a crazy amount of RuneScape. So I figured like, hey, we'll wait until next video, just finish out agility. We are definitely going to get 96 by this video, so that's going to be like have 3 levels total, pretty good. And then hopefully we'll be able to get enough for dark graceful. That might take a little bit of grinding though, I don't know. All right, I promise you guys a rant, and you're gonna get one for sure. I think I'll go start like the least offenses and then move up to the greatest ones. I think the first one that, you know, coming into my 200 KC mark for the Grand Hallowed chest, why can, like, it's, in general, I just don't really understand a ton why the poison exists for being able to get poisoned. More importantly than getting poisoned, I'm talking about whenever you open those chests I just opened there. Obviously that one didn't happen, but you can see it happened on one of the chests before that, because I am poisoned. On one hand, I get, you know, wanting to take damage to maybe make it, you know, when you're first learning it, to discourage you from opening the chest. Like, hey, you need to make sure you unlock what you need to unlock and get that figured out before you start trying to loot chests and stuff. But unfortunately, you go to the opposite end where a lockpick. I think you need a lockpick to do them, and then a grand old lockpick is more effective than a normal lockpick. I know that, or at least the wiki claims that to be the case. However, on top of that, I also have 99 thieving right now. So I feel like, honestly, I feel like even 99 thieving on its own should be cause for never failing that ever. But certainly 99 thieving and the strange old lockpick, I don't think I should ever be failing. Like, you could even fail the grand chest at the end too, which again, it's not even annoying because it literally just like you lose like 2 ticks maybe. I don't even know. You can click on it right again to try and do it, but it cancels your action. So you do have to click again if you fail, and it's just like once I have the ring, what is it called? The Hallowed ring, where you just don't take damage from the traps. Like once you have that, and you know you're not taking, even if you get poisoned, like the damage is negligible. You'll just heal over time. It's not like important at all. So it just kind of begs the question of like, why is it there? It's two issues of, one, why is it there? I kind of just, you know, mechanically don't understand, and then kind of thematically for my character and the skills, I really feel like with 99 thieving, and especially with the lockpick, and especially 99 thieving, I just shouldn't be failing that. I don't understand. It's just, again, not a time waster really. It's just annoying and a little strange. Next up will be teleporters, and I'm recording now to maybe hopefully get some footage. But my main gripe with teleporters is their inconsistency, in that, you know, they can have some runs you don't even notice them at all, and then runs when you notice them, they are annoying. I guess first off, just on a basic concept, if you're unfamiliar, the yellow teleporters teleport you back, and the blue ones can teleport you forward. So it's, you know, on paper it may seem like, oh, it's good to hit the blue ones, it saves time, and it's bad to hit the yellow ones because you lose time. Which is mostly true, but especially on floor 5, hitting the blue ones can mess you up even, because they can teleport you on top of lightning. Like these ones here probably could too, and then lightning can hit you and it can mess you up. But just on a very general sense, I would like to say, from like a feedback point of view for the Sepulcher, I just think it is infinitely more frustrating to lose time because of hitting a teleporter than it is the time you save for hitting a blue one. It just, you know, never feels good, and I didn't see it there, but my main gripe was I do not think it should be possible on the ones where it's doubled up for teleporters to for both of them to be active, for like the tile here and the tile here to have a teleport at the same time, because no matter which route you take, depending on where the arrows are coming at you, you will have to step over a teleporter sometime. Like there's I'm sorry if I hit the mic. No matter the circumstances, there are situations where the arrow is coming at you where you will have to step on a teleporter or just wait. And I guess, again, the pro move would be like, okay, well, obviously just wait. But then, and here's a perfect example of where just waiting is bad. Just waiting is boring, especially when this whole thing is training agility and trying to get a good time and get to the end. Who wants to just wait? Especially when so many of the challenges are knowing exactly when to make precise movements to not have to wait. Where it's like, oh, it looks like I have to wait here, but actually there's so many instances instances where you can like just sneak in through the corner, but there are as many instances, not equally, but there are instances where you do just have to wait for something to happen because you just won't be able to, or you'd have to be like legitimately one tick perfect of like catching a teleporter before a sword hits you. So just teleporters in general are pretty frustrating, and I mean, saying I wish they were gone is, you know, a little like get goodish because it's like, you know, they're part of the challenge. But I do wish they were not quite as punishing in certain situations because RNG can really mess you up with them. And since you're just here, let's talk about this trap. This will actually be a good example of showing off why I dislike it, because 9 times out of 10 you have to run there. Or you have to wait there, I'm sorry, but that one time, that was actually this is a bad example of why I disliked it, because it actually worked perfectly there. But one thing you'll notice is you start picking up on patterns a lot as far as, you know, what, you know, portion along certain, you know, puzzles are as you approach them, and then knowing like, hey, can I approach this right away, or do I need to wait for a different, you know, set or different move to start, so then I can, you know, do my muscle memory routine, you know, what you need to do after that. For that one, most of the time it's best to just wait until it is caught, because it gives you the most time to dodge and run. You don't have to be tick perfect or anything. You have a little bit of leeway and whatnot. For that though, I could tell by, you know, how soon it had been thrown as I was approaching that I could have time to run behind it. And I think if you are pitch perfect, like I think I was pretty much there, I think I had 2 ticks to get that right. Most times it feels like I have 1 tick to actually hit, you know, the teleporter will go away and then change, and you have 1 tick of that teleporter being up before the sword comes back and will instantly kill you. Because that's another weird thing too. I'm on a really good ping world right now, which is kind of rare these days. It seems like, but 9 times out of 10, as I mentioned before, with like the true tile marker and whatnot, if you enter like a tile with an active teleporter at the same time like a bullet or a sword does, you getting hit by the sword seems to take priority over you activating the teleporter. So you can't, like, you know, game the system and try and get it the same. You have to be on it for like pretty much a full tick, it feels like, before the obstacle is, or else you will just get hit and reset. And that one back there at the end of the floor 4, it's just annoying because it's frustrating to only have 1 actual tick to get it right, when again the other one is so much easier, as I pointed out in the last video. But it also is just frustrating because doing it, you know, the easy way, or not even the easy way, but like the right way most of the time, is just boring. It's boring to just have to sit there and wait for like an extended period of time for the stupid trap, just because, you know, if you try to do it earlier, like all of the other ones, like the ones where just longer ones of like arrows, you can do those whenever. You just gotta wait and make sure the very first volley isn't gonna hit you, but then you're just using skill and like awareness and dodging. But that one is skill and awareness and dodging, but also you have to wait a lot, and it's just boring. I don't want to have to wait when I'm training agility in the super go fast where there's a constant timer on the screen. It just doesn't feel good. And I think to end my rant on a happy note, I will make this my final point, because this is going to be the 200th grand coffin we have looted. Not, unfortunately, even with how many times I'm gonna finish floor 5, as you will see here in a second, because I've also, again, that was 5 times of failing to reach the chests, and then as of earlier this morning, 2 times of just forgetting to loot the coffin and leaving right when I get there. So I feel dumb sometimes. But my last point, I say it's the biggest, even though I'm actually not very mad about it, and it's just the XP you get from here. I just like, I know people get very, you know, opinionated on XP an hour for various skills and whatnot, but the highest I've ever seen, I think, was like 84k an hour for me, and I still, like, I think before this video ends, I'll put on like the Doom Eternal Gains soundtrack and just an hour straight just bang it out and full focus, see what I can get. But for how like much like skill and just like focus is involved in this, I feel like it should be more XP. I even want to almost say like significantly more XP an hour. And maybe it doesn't help that I just came from doing chins, where literally like reclined, I am watching YouTube and just looking and clicking circles when they're green and red. I can get, you know, pretty easily 100k XP an hour for Hunter, and then doing some not even really that much involved tick manipulation can get you up to like 130, 140k XP an hour easy. And then you come to agility, where it's I can do this super involved, like lots of counting. You got to learn every single floor individually. You know, there's a whole bunch of things, moving parts, constant full focus effort. And I can get, you know, once I'm experienced, if I don't loot and get a lot of money, I can get, you know, consistent 80Ks, or I can just go run around on a rooftop and be super reclined and watch YouTube and get like 60, 65K XP an hour. It just like, it feels like it should be more. Like I really like don't feel like I'm out of line for saying I think once you're experienced and familiar, I think if you're still, even if you're looting like the coffins on floor 5 and maybe even one of them on floor 4, I feel like you should be pretty easily able to hit that 100 XP an hour or 100k XP an hour mark. And then if you want to go full focus and not loot at all, I feel like I wouldn't, you know, being able to get up to like, you know, 110, 120, I feel would be still pretty fair. It just seems strange that it's like, why are we making it, it's like one of those things where, oh, agility is always taking a long time to train. Well, it's like, well, yeah, that's why we have this method where it's like, you know, for the exchange of needing to, you know, focus all the time, you can get like good XP rates, because it's still, even like 100k XP an hour is like not insane. Like if you're going to max, that's still like 130 hours for one skill. Like I think most people would say that's a lot. It just seems a little strange to me, but yeah, I'm not like, you know, mad about it. It's still pretty good XP. It's still very fun content, but it just is one of those things that just like doesn't sit right with me, where it just feels off. I'd be curious to hear what other people think. None of the steps on this one were too hard, but man, it felt like I had to do like 10 of them. It took forever to get, but we got an elite casket and it's a mimic. Oh boy. Alright, I must have just gotten super lucky the first time I did the Mimic, because I've tried twice now and it didn't even get close both times, so I don't care enough to try and go for this. I just want to train agility. I needed some dopamine after getting bested by the Mimic there, so I went ahead and started buying some of the Dark Graceful. It actually, when I'm zoomed out as far as I usually am, it kind of just looks just like pure black, which isn't great, but I do think it looks pretty good whenever you zoom in fully there. So it's, the symbiote is slowly consuming my body, as you can see. I don't like that you have to do the message every single time. Like, I get it after the first time that it's going to be permanent, but I'm sure there's some people who have accidentally used the recolor and they didn't mean to. But other than that, I'm still enjoying Sepulcher. Getting close to both 96 agility, and I sold a bunch of runes when I was making space for Mimic, and we're almost at 10 mil cash made from just Sepulcher, so that is not bad at all. I have been looting a lot more chests than I usually normally would have, since I've been going for the Dark Graceful, but I think I'm going to go back to doing just like the Hallowed focused ones. I don't know why I call it the Hallowed focus, the magic ones, because I got rid of my crossbow when I did the Mimic and I don't feel like getting it back, so. No, I didn't miss it. I might have hit record like just enough to hear the end of the dingle there. I leveled up, at least I get to see it. 96 agility. I don't know why I'm freaking out. I think the only thing we get is there's maybe one more level of like you and your graceful gives you a little bit more run energy recharge. But we've got all the agility shortcuts unlocked. We've got all of the, you know, rooftop courses unlocked. It's not nothing important. Okay, just casually getting a new overall PB, even though I was looting chests. You know, that always feels good. I will be blown away if this is not a new PB. You see, I got a PB for floor 3, which I just got another one at 58 seconds, which I thought was really good. Like, I thought that was going to be, like, really close to the highest. And, like, the next run, I get 53 seconds for floor 3. And then I hit up 134, a new PB for floor 4. And then let's check after we leave this. Okay, new overall PB, 1 second away from my floor 5 PB, which I also just got a couple runs ago. Well, I think I'm at just over an hour now, so we'll see what my XP an hour is at, even though I was looking at it. I think it's Gonna probably be just about 85k an hour, I think. It definitely could have been a little higher, but I had like just an abysmal run. Hey, new floor 5 PB. I think most of my runs have been like 6 minutes. So let's look, 87k an hour, 93k gains, so 86, 87k. Maybe I'll keep going and see if I can push that a little higher. One more run. But most of my floor 5 or my overalls have been like 630s. There's my alpha one, 843. That really messed me up. But yeah, so it's definitely, you know, it's doable. 618. Oof, I remember that. That was so long ago. I definitely like this, although I don't think I could do like full focus 100% of the time, just because I get way too self-critical. Whenever it's, you know, it's not too bad whenever you're just kind of like going through, you know, you always know you're guaranteed gonna make it, you know, you're not that bad, you're looting chests and stuff, and it's like, yeah, you fail one thing, it's like, yeah, whatever. But oh my god, when you're going for time and you have like a mess up, whether it's your fault or the game's fault, which happens, you know, equal amounts, it just doesn't feel good. Alright, this is actually going to be the last run of Sepulcher we see for a while, because, oh my god, I am done. I already was going to upload this video earlier today, but I was like, oh, I'll stick it out and get the last piece of Graceful. Why not? No reason not to. But, oh, this last, like, hour and a half, 2 hours has by far been just the worst experience I've had with Sepulcher. I didn't talk about it a lot in my rants, because honestly, it's not, like, that big of a deal, really. But Sepulcher is an instance. Like, there are other people that can show up here, and it's normally not that bad. It does throw off like some of the timings and stuff, but you can get used to that, and it's most common on floors like 1 through 3, because that's when I think, you know, the lowest levels you need to have. But it, you know, it is a thing. You do notice it sometimes, but man, on 4th floor and especially floor 5, like having the timings be off just totally messes up so many of the puzzles. Like I just had one right now. There's some guy on floor 5, which you hardly ever see. And I was literally, we were just one tick ahead of the normal cycle, and that was enough to mess up one of the puzzles, which then of course like spirals into messing up a bunch of other stuff, and it's super annoying. And I get why it's not instanced. It probably would be, you know, more server load than they need, but I really wish it was. But anyway, that's gonna be it for Sepulcher. We are finally wrapping up. Overall, I did like enjoy it, you know. It was a fun thing. I mean, we went from 92 to like, you know, getting almost halfway to 97 now. Let me pull up the collection log. We're just about green logged. I'll definitely come and finish it at some point. Of course, we got our only 1 ring of endurance and 247 chests, so, you know, probably expected. I'm surprised this caps at 250, but you can do the math to see everything else that we've got from this. But yeah. If you made it this far, thank you so much. This might be my longest video ever. I didn't think I had that many clips, and I was editing last night, and I was like, oh, I have a lot. Granted, my rant kind of added to it. But yeah, oh boy, that is definitely going to be it for agility for right now. I'm looking forward to going back into Herbivore. That's the main thing, although I'll probably end up trying to use these chins. I know I'm 99 range, but I want to do them on defensive and see how much defense XP you get per hour. If it's not crazy, then I'll just get rid of them. But I mean, I have like almost 8,000 of them. It's a couple mils worth, 6 bill worth, so it feels a little stupid just to not use them. And of course, chins, when you die, they don't go back in like to your Hispori. They run away, they say, when you die. So I have to use them in this inventory. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know agility can be pretty boring, and I do have a elite clue, which I'm going to cry if it's a mimic, because I do want to open it. Oh, it was just trash, as you expect from elites. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully you will see me in the next one for some hunter mainly, and maybe some other things. We're going to definitely put this Ring of Endurance to use.